Hello, this is Jenny Clark with Solvability, and today in my What's Up with Mitch episode, I'm talking to Mitch about joint ventures. Joint ventures, everybody seems to be getting one. He wants to know if he should have one too. And so we're going to talk about that. So Mitch is a small business in federal contracting. He knows how to get work. He's got his basic infrastructure down. He's now at the point where he wants to grow faster. He's tired of moving slow, and this is his year. This is totally his year. So Mitch, being a bottom line kind of guy, is always telling me, I just want it all to work. So here are the 4, 5, 6 questions that he wanted me to answer for him in order for him to figure out, okay, what are my next steps? Do I want to do this? So number one, related to joint ventures, is who do we know that knows that customer? Because when you're talking about a joint venture partner, you're usually doing it to fill in a gap of something you have, and that gap might be a customer relationship. His second question is, what gaps do we need to fill to be better positioned? Well, obviously, if I've got a lot of skills in data analytics, but I don't have the background with healthcare, I would want to find a partner that had that so we could combine forces and go after some work that I would not be able to pursue on my own, but that the other company is also looking for some type of relationship like that. And we've identified really a whole lot of different work that fits with both of us. It's in our wheelhouse, but we need to be on a stronger team to do that. And we really don't want to be in a prime sub relationship. We feel like a joint venture is going to set us up as peers, and that's going to be a better overall way to go instead of trying to figure out, okay, you prime, I prime, how do you want to do this? How long does it take to set up a joint venture? It doesn't really take that long to set up a joint venture. You're going to go and set up a legal agreement. You're going to figure out how you're going to share it. You're going to need to set up an accounting system, set up bank accounts, all of those type of things. But timing shouldn't be too bad to set up a joint venture, other than working out all the details with your partner. So, you could figure those type things out. It's just setting up another corporation. How would a JV help us manage our size standards? Well, if you keep growing too fast and you blow out all your size standards, then you're going to have 0% of the work with set aside type work or limited competition type work. And you joint venture at least you could get 50% or 49% of that work and still stay under your size standards. So that could be a better way to work. I would rather have 3 contracts where I'm doing a third of the work than one where I'm getting 100%, if the 100% is because I'm diversifying, I'm spreading my risk. Does the joint venture buy a part of our company? No. When you hear about all small mentor protege and joint ventures, what they've said is a large prime could own 40%. What they mean is that large prime could own 40% of the joint venture, which would be a great thing, but they don't own 40% of your company. The large prime would own 40% of the joint venture and you would own 60%. And that could be a benefit for you, because what they're really doing is they're helping you to finance this because you're going through it together. And it's also creating relationships that you can use that joint venture for other similar work. So it's a good way to team up with other primes that have to have some small business partners in order to go after the work they really want to do. What would we bring to the table as a JV partner? You've really got to think about that. It's going to be a customer relationship. It's going to be a unique niche. It's going to be a technology. It's going to be a location type relationship. Maybe you have an office in Orlando and the other company has offices in Huntsville, and you're trying to go and work with a company where the decision makers are split between those two, or there's 2 divisions or something like that. And you're like, hey, this would be pretty cool. We could create a long-term working relationship that would really benefit us. So location is also a big one to be thinking of, because it takes so much effort to become known in the community. And a lot of times helping your JV partner by sharing some office space and things like that can be really valuable to them. Mitch is unstoppable. Are you unstoppable? You know where you want to go. Solvability can help you get there with the cost and pricing intelligence you need to accelerate and scale your business. Most of our clients get started with our free wrap rate calculator. It's a little spreadsheet that explains, if you know that your overhead is this and your G&A is this and your target profit is that. What's your billing rate? What's your loaded labor rate? We can use it to calculate that. We could also use it to take the bid rate and divide it by this multiplier and determine what the maximum range is that you can pay for that employee. It's handy. It gives you guys an idea of how the calculations work. There's a lot more to it, but I do give some examples and explanations. And by the way, there's so many ways to calculate these burdens that you want to really learn about it and understand it so that you're using it consistently. You don't want to find out that you've been bidding it wrong for years, which happens every once in a while. By the way, a lot of times people will approach me because they need help figuring out their overhead and G&A rates. They want to know exactly where they are. They want to know that they can pass the DCA audit. They really need to have a rate and pricing model that they can use as a regular tool for bidding so that they're not just by default bidding wherever their overhead rates were for last year, because when you're growing, they may not mean anything anymore. Or if you're about to double the size when you bid this contract, you should be able to bid what's called impacted rates. So if you want something more complicated, would love to talk to you, you can just send a text to my mobile phone. It's 256-882-6276. And, just say, hey, this is so-and-so with this company. I've got this urgent question. Could we set up a call? I'd love to talk to you and see what we might be able to do for you.